Hey y'all, Funsize here, bringing you another episode of Solo Nomad Life in Ark Survival Evolved Mobile. So, it's been a little while since we last logged on with y'all watching. We have lost a couple things here in the interim. So, the saber-tooth we had wandering, that got stepped on by a Giga, and being on neutral attacked the Giga, and the Giga killed it. So, that happened. As you can see, I died over there just a few minutes ago. I was on just checking things out, seeing what we had and what we lost. So we lost the saber. We lost one of our little bases, the one over by the snow mountain. But aside from that little fake smelting shack and the saber-tooth, we still have everything. And some, because the other day was one of the birthdays of the Ward Run devs. And so they have a little code that everybody can cash in, and so we got ourselves some flak pants. Really good quality for an easy server, for a free item anyway. Got ourselves a kettle bear. We have no use for that, so I'm going to try to trade that off at some point. We got ourselves a balm, and we got ourselves another saber-tooth saddle, which we don't need right now. So I'm going to nab those pants and just throw them on right away. Today we're going to be handling the mobile pursuits. We'll go over that for y'all who are PC and console users. And we're going to do some caving, which also has a few differences from mobile. And caving is mainly done for gear on here, but in a different way than we would on PC and console. We're not going after in-cave loot drops. We're going after the artifact itself. When you get an artifact on mobile, you bring it out of the cave, and because it's not used to summon a boss, it's used to tribute at the obelisk, and you get stuff for it. So it's like a big loot drop. And you can pretty much tell what you're going to get from it depending on the artifact. So there's a loot table and all that on the wiki. Alright, so I'm going to find our Argentavis. It's wandering around somewhere here. Can't have been too far because I just teleported it over there. And I will get back to you. Alright, we've requested the Argentavis, and we're just waiting for it to come back here. So I figured I'd cover a couple things while we waited. I've gotten my kit from a hidden spot. I'm not going to show y'all where I put all of my caches, just because I know I'm small still, but there's still the odds that someone will come along and decide to take my stuff because they've seen it in my channel. So we're just going to handle pursuits a little bit here while we wait for the Argentavis, and I'll go over what I'm planning to do today. So pursuits are this list of things right here. Very useful because of what they reward you with when you finish. What I'm going to focus on is the clothing list of pursuits right this second, which starts out with this one called Less Naked. So we're going to hit start on that, and we'll see up in the top right corner, it's going to present us with some to-do lists, some things we need to do. Alright, you. I'm going to let you wander a little bit, but I'm going to stay close. So, what this wants us to do first is equip a full cloth set of armor. That's actually really easy because we've got our handy-dandy sickle. So, I'm just going to head up the hill here a little bit, grab some fiber, and we will get a cloth set together. When you finish your cloth set, you'll be awarded with, most likely, an Ascendant or a Mastercraft pair of cloth boots. Sometimes it's not boots, most of the time it's boots. When you finish a clothing quest, you get boots. It's almost 100% of the time. Once. And only once have I ever gotten a chest piece. And a part of me wonders if that was just a fluke, because you're supposed to get boots. But what I'm going to do is just whip this up quickly, put it on, and then it'll give me that Ascendant pair of boots. And the only reason I'm doing that is because it unlocks the next clothing mission, which is Hide. And that's going to be the one I really want, because that will get me some good hide boots to go with my Mastercraft flak pants. And then I'll trip out the rest of my equipment. So I'll get right back to you when I have a little bit more fiber. Alright, we've got ourselves a handful of fiber here, and we're just going to craft these up. I've already learned the requisite engrams. Come on, there we go. And then yes, you have to put these on. Oops, wrong one. And yes, on mobile, putting on clothing is piece by piece like this. See that da-da, and it gives you experience, and then wait a second, and your reward. So there's a nice boots of higher quality and really stand out. Let's see what the quality is on these things. Apprentice? Wow, that's terrible. Admittedly, I'm used to Brutal. On Brutal, you pretty much get Ascendant across the board for anything. But, you know, this is okay. So now I'm going to go down here to Better Duds. This is the second tier of the clothing mission. So I select that. And now it tells me equip a full hide set. Now I've got most of this already. I left my pants in the smithy right up here. What I love about an easy server is after you've pumped melee past a certain point, you really don't have anything to fear anymore. And that gave me a little bit more experience points. And gave me these boots. Let's see what quality they are. Journeyman, 44. Compared to the one I'm wearing, which are... It's actually a significant boost, especially in the insulation. I hear that scorpion coming for me. Let's see. So I'm going to now show you what I'm going to do with the rest of the points I have invested in my crafting station. Come on. Just land a hit. What do we have here? I'm not going to say no to those. Alright. So, now I'm going to take... I have my boots. I have my pants. Let's see how high I can get on armor value here. And let me throw more into melee. So, with my crafting station, I only have so many cures left before I'm out. And yes, crafting stations are very finicky. It has to be just so as far as the terrain goes or it won't place. So I have 225 cures left. I need a baryonyx saddle. The reason you need baryonyx is because it's another one of those animals like the Doedicurus that you can leave on its own wandering, and it's pretty much invincible when it comes to wild animals because the baryonyx in its natural element just stuns things and kills them. So keep it on neutral, and it's pretty good. It's a really good one to have. Plus it can do caves, and it's a fast water mount. So that's a good one to have. It unlocks a lot of the water tames later on. You can use its spin to tame a lot of different things. So I need 200 for that. That leaves me with 25 extra cures. Now I have boots and pants, so what I'm going to do is buy myself a good pair of gloves. Wasn't too crazy about the quality of those other two, so... Now I need a good shirt. That'll do. Again, as picky as I was with the saddles on this thing, you don't have to be that picky with the armor. It's so cheap in this. That's honestly good enough. So that puts me at a total armor value of, let's see, where are my gloves? 651, 232 hypo insulation, which is what I'm looking for because I'm in a cold climate. That'll keep me from getting cold, and that'll let me take a beating, especially on an easy server. So now that we have that, we're going to keep the rest of our cures in our tannery for when we do get our baryonyx. No need to invest early as much as y'all might want to get it all knocked out all at once. Anything that you can keep safe, amber in your inventory, or cures in your crafting stations, those are untouchable. They can't be taken from you. A saddle can. Someone finds your cache, they take your saddle, it's all over. Oh, Scorpion knocked this out. Nah. Alright, so next step is I'm going to get our Argentavis. We're going to fly towards South Cave. South Cave yields us hide armor blueprints and tool blueprints like the pick and the hatchet. It also gives us fishing rods, it also gives us shields, and it also gives us occasionally a balm. But we're really in there for the tools, and we're in there for the hide. So I'm just going to grab our Argentavis, it should be right around here, and I'm going to get over to a cave and I'll get back to you. Okay, so before we head over to the cave, I remember there's one more pursuit we need to do. This is an important one. This is my favorite one, actually. It is called Hunt Terror Bird. The reason I love this one is because when you finish it, it gives you a really good sword. So, prerequisite for it is that I need to know how to make a sword. That's no problem at all. I'll just learn that engram now. But I have to kill 3 terror birds, I believe, to get this. So, it should be relatively easy on my RG. Now, another thing I was going to mention about Nomad is, remember, your goal is that nobody knows you exist. So, everything you do should be as flying low to the ground as possible, cautiously as possible, staying in the brush, act like someone's watching out for you at all times, because the last thing you want is someone seeing you and then tracking you back to your base. So just keep that in mind and you should be good. I'm just going to activate Terror Bird Hunt. You can see it says pursuit started, hunt terror birds, craft a metal sword. You don't have to. It says to, you don't have to. You just have to find a terror bird. You have a little arrow up in the top left hand corner that tells you where the closest terror bird is. Just follow that, you'll be fine. So I'll get back to you when I've killed those. Alright guys, we're back, and we are right close to South Cave. I did get a sword along the way by killing those terror birds. Tested it out on an Alpha Raptor, worked okay. For a Mastercraft sword, that's really pathetic. But the repair is not that bad, and so I'm optimistic. So 191 times my 248. Y'all can figure that out. I'm gonna run over to the cave. I'm leaving my Argentavis over here because too many people leave their tames right outside the cave, and that's just a kill zone right there. I'd rather run a little bit farther. So, hiding him over there. He took him off wander. He's still on neutral, so if something attacks him, he's not gonna get killed and just sit there. I did notice some spikes over here by the cave, so we'll see what happens as we approach. Hopefully it's not been turreted off, or that would be a bummer. So it looks like some not very bright person attempted to actually block off this channel with wooden buildings. That's just unwise, guys. Especially on a high population server like this. You're gonna get yourself slaughtered. Anybody who's even established on the server is gonna clear you out right away. And if that weren't enough, you're going to be slaughtered by all the noobs who just pour onto your defenses like they're not there. So, alright, as you can see, as we enter the cave, another pursuit starts telling me to find the artifact. This does not give me directions, however, I know this cave very well, so I won't have any problems that way. But you need to stay alert, as there could be other players down here, and they're likely to be on wolves if they're part of the established tribes. So I'm just going to pull up right short of here, let my stamina come back, eat an egg I picked up. Eat some raw meat too. There we go. Alright, now there are 2 strategies to this. One is to run right in and bulldoze past everything and then fight your way back out. I prefer to fight my way in. So I move over here. Scorpion coming. My armor, I should really be fine to just slaughter everything here. Yeah, I might just tank my way straight through. Another thing about higher population servers, lots of people coming through the caves means less tames inside. Or not less tames, but less wild creatures. Only thing that poses any sort of threat in here is the Titan Boa. And even that really doesn't. As you can see, I could probably run Swamp Cave with the skier at this point. I'd have to have thick skin or something. Alright, so we're going to nab that. Apply the applicable levels. We're now at 250 melee, so I think I'm going to specialize a little bit more into weight or HP. And we'll just run right back out. Hearing gates opening and closing, which is always interesting. Alright, now I've reached the fork in the road. I'm actually not going to go up with the artifact yet, because part of the pursuit system is that when you leave the cave with the artifact for the first time, you get a chunk of XP. So what I'm going to do is run down here and grab an Explorer Note. Music can't make up its mind. Would have been nice to get the note before that, but I couldn't afford that happening. So, I might as well get this chitin. I should really check their bodies, but I don't have time. And I should now have, yes, the Explorer Note buff. That lasts 8 minutes, so I better take advantage of that while I can. Again with those gates in the background, I don't know if y'all can hear those, but they're constant. It's whoever lives on the hill right above the cave. Alright, and as you get out, you see you get 400 XP, plus the Explorer Note times 2, plus all the other boosts. Basically, 3 levels up. Or level up. Alright, let's see what I've got. Let's go... Yeah, let's go HP. HP is one of those things that's easy to neglect because you don't see an obvious and immediate boost to it, but it really does help. Melee is great because you instantly see the benefits, same with speed. Alright, let's get some water, and I will get on the Argentavis and we'll head over to an obelisk and I'll show you what happens. Alright, we're closing in on green obelisk. We've got the artifact ready for tribute. I'm just going to show y'all how that works. So essentially what I'm going to do is land on the panel, target the platform, open it up, and select the artifact and hit Tribute. I'm going to try and do it before my Explorer Note runs out. Get that bonus XP. Because tributing does in fact grant you XP. Now, key to remember is a couple things, and I didn't do this myself. But when you're doing the pursuit for even more XP, make sure that you start it before you get there. So that would be the Hunter's Tribute. You would start that before you turn in the artifact. Then also make sure that when that pursuit is finishing, you keep your eyes focused on the pedestal. If you turn away when you get your rewards, it'll actually glitch out the pursuit and you'll never be able to complete it, which is a huge issue if you're shooting for something called the Trophy Room Pursuit later on, which is a big deal. So you're going to want to make sure you get that done right, and you'll either have to... There's some ways of getting around it, but I won't get into those now. Just make sure you're targeting the platform and you should be fine. So let's check out the gear we got here. It's going to be all blueprints. I did kill an Alpha Raptor earlier and get that pistol. Don't have any use for that right now. Firearms are not my way of going when I'm Nomad. So we've got an Apprentice metal pick, nice and cheap. 54 damage, which is a hair better than what we have. And some nice Journeyman pants, just in case we run out of the flak ones. And we've got an Apprentice hide shirt. So we're going to run this a bunch more times over the next little while, probably most of it off camera. And I'm going to get just some tools. Normally I would select the best, throw away the worst, but with Nomad you really want as many caches as you possibly can, so keep everything scattered all around. Even if it's a crummy pick that's got 1 more damage than your standard pick, keep it anyway. Never hurts to have a blueprint. And we're going to shoot for hide because A, flak is more conspicuous. Someone sees you with flak, they think you have good stuff, they want to kill you and take it. And B, hide is a lot easier to put together when you're Nomad. Especially high quality gear takes a lot of resources, and if you're smelting up that much metal, you want to put it into a good quality tool or something like that rather than a full set of armor, which is just going to be a lot. So keep those in mind when tributing, when getting different things. As I mentioned, South Cave also gives you bombs. Those are going to be helpful for starting. So I recommend South Cave really for starting out, whether you're on an easy server, medium, or hard. Your gear should scale with that, so you should be fine to go in there. Make sure if you can that your Fortitude is over 17, because Fortitude under 17 you get knocked out with 1 snake bite. Over 17 takes 2. So make sure you get that up there. Bring stimulants with you, I would recommend, if you're going to do any cave. I didn't because I'm really used to it and I do it a lot, so I didn't feel to worry. But I would recommend bringing stimulants, make sure you're okay, and yeah, yeah, run it a bunch of times until you get a good pile of gear. Alright, we're coming in with the second tribute. See how this goes. Don't forget to initiate the pursuit. Alright, here we go. It's just initiated the pursuit. It says get to an obelisk. I just did that, so now it's happy with me. And it wants me to target the base and pay tribute. And again, when doing this, make sure that you keep your reticle on the tribute terminal. There we go, pursuit complete. Now if I'd gone like that, I wouldn't have gotten that pursuit complete. And this is an issue that's been known for a little while. So. Alright, let's see what this set of stuff is like. Yeah, we got Ramshackle. We got a pick that's not as good, and we got some more pants, also not as good. So, that's not that great stuff. I was hoping for a hatchet this time around. Alright, so I'm going to run it a few more times, but I think y'all have probably the general idea. So this is what tributing is in mobile, and this is what pursuits are. So hope y'all enjoyed this little informative video, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.